There's so much stuff going on in the world right now. We have this AI boom on one side where pretty much every single month something new comes out, something completely changes, some new skill you have to learn, or just in general, trying to keep up with it is almost insane. Then on the other side, we have political instability, things are changing, we have conflicts going on in the world right now, shortages, so many different things that affect our day to day. The prices are rising. And for myself, it sometimes makes me very uncertain and worries me a little bit. And most of the stuff I cannot control, they're outside of my locus of control. But there are a few things I actually can control. And specifically, what I can control is how I use these things that are happening right now and the uncertainty, and then decide what I'm going to do about it and how I change my life and my behavior in the future, so I'm actually well prepared for whatever is coming next. Just as a heads up, I'm not an expert on this topic, and most of the stuff is speculation and my own understanding of these things and topics and what's going on. And from there, I draw my own conclusions to what I'm going to do about it and what, in my opinion, is the best way to approach this for me. So based on this, what I see, so I'm currently living in Germany, and since we have this conflict going on in the Middle East, there's a lot of energy shortage and stuff like this, and prices are rising, and you pretty much never know what's coming. On the other side, we have this, let's just say, like the political stuff and landscape. And on the other side, we have all this technology boom, and especially with AI is crazy. I mean, I'm in AI and I'm interested in this and I try to keep up with it, but there's so much stuff going on and there's so many things that change and there's so many softwares and platforms that come out. There almost isn't enough time in a day to actually learn and keep up with everything. So you have to really focus on what is important and what matters the most. And based on these two things, the main thing is you can't specifically say what will happen next. There's so much uncertainty of how the world is going to change in the next 5 years. The only thing that is probably certain is that it's going to change a lot. And I came to a few conclusions that I personally think are meaningful to me and matter something. So number one is, with all these changes coming up, again, there's a lot of uncertainty, but the uncertainty is much, much worse if you're alone. And especially in this current day and age, most of the people sit in front of their laptop somewhere, they work from home, especially if they're somewhere in this online world that I'm in. You work from home, you're isolated in a way, and then with all this stuff happening, you just feel overwhelmed. You feel uncertain, you feel maybe worried and stuff like this. And I personally believe that it's much, much harder to tackle these things if you're just by yourself and everything is happening around you. And then instead of having community around you, like good friends, and actually having a life offline, because I think a lot of the stuff that makes you uncertain and a little bit crazy is being online the entire day and not having a life outside of the internet. And what I focus on a lot in the future is building community and having like really good people around me that give me peace and stuff like this, where I feel like I can tackle these changes and these challenges not alone, but with a community around me. So family, really good friends that are also like allowing me to have different insights and I can learn from, and these different things. And one way for me to do this is to actually build this personal brand, which I'm doing right now. I strongly believe that having a personal brand is a really effective way of actually drawing people in that are into the same stuff, that are like-minded as you are, that are around the globe, so you can easily connect with people anywhere you go, especially if your following grows. And it just allows you, in my opinion, to connect with people in a really fast way, okay? And the other way, obviously, is then to take the people I meet from this and then to start meeting them offline and stuff, and to build a community from this personal brand and to grow this in order to have people around me and to just have a really good community. That's one thing I will really focus on in the next years, and family as well, having my own family and starting a family and being really tight with this. So I have strong relationships, and I'm not alone fighting all these changes and these different things that are coming and these uncertainties. The second thing I will focus on and already focus on a lot is financial freedom. I think if you have money, it just gives you a freedom and you're not able to be controlled so much, and you're not just being there reacting to the circumstances, but you can actually shape and change your life in order to what is happening. So for example, if at one point Germany becomes, I don't know, unstable, or it's too crazy for me, or I don't like some laws that they just passed, or I don't know, they had something I don't like and I don't connect with, and it doesn't suit me too well. If I were broke, then I'm kind of just a victim to the circumstances because I just can't pack my baggage up and leave. I'm kind of stuck here. I have to deal with it, and I have to stay there, and I have to, let this wash over me in a way and be affected by it. And with financial freedom, you have the opportunity always to go somewhere else. If you have money, other countries are usually, in my opinion, again, this is my understanding, you're in some way welcomed and it's easier for you to get in. So you can always go there, you can have different passports, and you're much more on the safer side, and you're not just sitting there and hoping that everything turns out for the best. You're kind of prepared. And if you have money, you're also not that easily reachable. So if there's some other crisis or some economic downturn and you have a lot of money sitting around or in stocks or invested or real estate or something like this, then you don't need to worry and be stressed out all the time. You can just relax, and you know that also this downturn or this crisis is going to pass over, and you're going to be safe, and your family is going to be safe. The people around you are going to be safe. And again, you can always go somewhere else where things are different or better or more suitable to what you need or what I need personally. That is another thing. So financial freedom. And the last thing is what I believe, and this is also just personal preference, but I think being able to live more on the countryside, which is something I'm planning to do, to move more onto the countryside, into nature and stuff like this, and also be able to grow my own food and to be more self-sufficient. I mean, we see it right now. Since the conflict in the Middle East, there's also a lot of fertilizer that is not going through, or a lot of chemicals that are needed to have fertilizer. And because they lack fertilizer, they're not able to grow food as efficiently and as cheaply as they've been doing it before. Meaning the prices are rising. Maybe there will be in the future some lack of food and the options we have right now in the grocery store. And by just growing my own food, you're also more independent, and I'm less able to be controlled. I have more freedom, and I don't need to worry about these things. There's less uncertainty because I know even if the prices are growing crazy, I still have some fruit I grew my own in my garden, or I have some animals that I can farm. And it just puts me on the safer side, and it gives me, again, like peace of mind. And if I have community, I have financial freedom, and I have my own food and stuff like this, then it just gives me a peace of mind where I feel like I'm kind of untouchable. And even though things are happening, things are crazy, things are changing, I'm safe and I can live freely and I can live life on my own terms. And this is like the meta conclusion I draw from this, and what I will be working on over the next years, and to focus really hard on this. And again, like, this is pretty meta. So on a micro level, then, how this is affecting actually my day-to-day. So for the community stuff, I'm currently living in a city that I don't like too much, and I don't really connect with the people that are living here too much, and those are not my people. So the first step for me will be actually moving to a place and finding the place where I actually want to live long term and where I also find the people I want to connect with. And then once I get there, to heavily focus on building a community by going out to events, meeting people, having contacts, and just doing the basic stuff in order to make friends and meet people. Like I said, joining clubs, going to events, staying in touch with people, nurturing friendships, all these different things. So this is the first step for me. So like moving and then going somewhere I actually like living in and meeting people there. The financial stuff is pretty much all the business stuff and really focusing on growing a business, which is also, I think a personal brand is a really, really valuable asset in my opinion, because I've seen so many other entrepreneurs, creators and stuff like this where they just have a huge personal brand and it's just such an asset to have no matter what happens. But if you have a following and people follow you and you have this like 1,000 true fans that will buy anything from you that you offer and you have, then you have something that you can always fall back on. And on the other hand, you always have something you can make money with, something that you're actually interested in. So it aligns with your values and all these different things as well. Again, in my opinion. And the last thing is with the food, this kind of ties into the other things. Like first, you need some financial freedom in order to make this happen. And second of all, the moving stuff and finding the place I actually want to do this and have a garden and stuff like this and do this. So it all ties into each other. So obviously the most important thing is having the financial freedom. So building businesses or the personal brand or whatever it is for you or for me. And then using this money to fuel this one and to also fuel the other ones. Okay, so where you're able to move to a place where you actually like people and you have people that you can connect with. On the other hand, being able to buy passports and visas quickly because you have the funds in order to do this. And to, for example, pay, I don't know, for the US, like the golden ticket, and you can easily pay this in cash and then you can live there. And also then buying obviously some type of land where you can grow your food and stuff like this.